Wallace is an award-winning Australian artist with a diverse practice ranging across works on paper, collage, artist books and sculpture. I was lucky enough to visit her in Western Australia in December 2012 to assist and document the process behind her next project, Beach Colony, to be presented on Cottelsoe Beach as part of Perth's popular Sculpture by the Sea annual event. Continuing her practice of using found materials, her connection to the sea finds form in this sculptural project through hawser ropes, salvaged from Freemantle's court.
Hawser is a nautical term for a thick rope, used in mooring or towing a ship. A hawser passes through a hawser hole, also known as a cat hole, located on the hawse or space between the bow and the anchor.
At the moment I'm working on a piece called Beach Colony to be shown in Sculpture by the Sea at Cottelsoe here in Western Australia. I was over here visiting family who were very much orientated towards the sea, boating, yachting, and I was at my niece's yacht club, going out sailing with her, and I noticed all of these beautiful hawser ropes, a whole bunch of them, and they were near the dumpster, and she said, "Oh yes, we're about to send those to the tip." And I said, "No, you can't send those to the tip. I'd like to make something with them." And that's where the whole idea hatched, really. Well, it's going to be on the high tide line at Cottelsoe, and when you're down on that beach and you're looking out to sea, you actually see the ships go by, and there's an immediate connection to the source of the ropes themselves and the connection to their origins. And, you know, like the fact that it's such an iconic site, I suppose, Cottelsoe. I live on the southwest coast of Victoria, and beach walking has to be one of my very favourite pastimes. I love it when it's really wild and your hair gets totally knotted up in the wind, you know, like, and you just feel the energy of the place, or when it's really calm and, you know, like you just have a totally different energy. If I go inland, I just really miss that. Like it's a different way of being in the world, I think, when you're living next to such a powerful force as the sea. And using these ropes connects me to that in a different way. I guess I have a family history of the sea captains and master mariners and whatever in my history, and I don't know whether it passes down the bloodline or not, but it's just interesting to think of it in historical terms and in family terms. I guess it also makes my family think in a different way about the work that I'm doing too, because they look at it and they understand, you know, how you can be obsessed by something to do with the sea, and they're really supportive of that. I really like working across disciplines, and I guess that comes from my background in having another life before, you know, concentrating solely on making artwork. But I really see how different disciplines add another layer of understanding and meaning to any project. So I like to do research into whatever I'm doing, like, and looking at it from other points of view. So with the hawser ropes, you know, I like to go down to the port and have a look and see what they look like when they're in use. I like to then, you know, like go and talk to people who have actually spliced them together and made them, and find out all I can about that material and the use of that material, and then that leads me on to finding out about other ways of knotting and possibilities of joining them, and it gives me also a basis of connecting to people who have had experience working with ropes, and I just learn a lot from different projects. I'm excited by environments that have a real contrast to them. And for example, in Portland, it's a shipping port, a fishing port, so you have the industrial maritime context where ships are coming and going, unloading produce, fishermen are making their way out to the sea and bringing back their catches. And I guess over here in Western Australia, here in Freemantle, there's a real similarity to that. The scale's escalated somewhat, but at the same time you have those contrasts, and I think the ropes encapsulate that. Like what they make reference to, the fact that they're part of the sea, part of that nautical life, part of shipping, and they're also indicative of the idea of a safe harbour, like holding something safely in port, and then, using them to make a form that can also have that reference and other, conceptual underpinnings as well. It just seems worthwhile to use them to say something else about this place, and to really allow people to look really closely at them and touch them and really see what they're made of. And obviously they've had another life, so the question arises, well, where have they been? It's a question I always get asked about my work. What is this? Where's it been? Where did you find it? And it just becomes another layer in it.
Beach Colony will be on display as part of Perth's Sculpture by the Sea event on Cottelsoe Beach between the 8th and 25th of March 2013. Carmel Wallace is a unique and inspiring artist who delves deeply into each project, taking herself, communities and audiences on amazing journeys, just like the captains and master mariners of her forebears. I am grateful for her creative spirit and generosity, and I thank her for this ride.
Ooh, no.